Once Flowey is questioning your sanity, you've done your job. Alright, now once you got that done, you want to go over here, open up a program called Run. Or just go to your app data. From there you want to switch to local app data, scroll down until you see the file called Undertale. Now, these are what you're looking for. Basically, I'm just going to take all of these, copy, and then paste them there. Simple as that. These are the files that you'll be using for the Flowey fight. Anytime you want to reset the fight, all you have to do is go into here, delete Undertale, copy that, and put it back in. Simple as that. Then when you open up the game again, you'll be fighting Flowey. You also get to skip all of the text at the beginning, just like normal. This part, though, you do have to wait through, which is not ideal, but after 6 months, you kind of get used to it. So a pretty general rule of thumb with this fight is, as far away from Flowey you are, the better. Another thing is, try your best to stay in the middle, because there's several attacks that just require you to either be in the middle, or just not close to the edges. For this, just find the right spot, and the act button will always appear right above you. All you have to do is just hit the left or right arrow keys and continuously tap it until you get to where you want to. Once Phase 2 starts, there's several new attacks that are allowed to happen. One is the Venus Flytrap, another is these things. Flowey nukes are another. And I think finger guns might be the last one, I could be wrong. For this attack, you're pretty much just going to do the exact same pattern every time. Like right here, if you notice, I'm pretty much doing the exact same thing that you'll see in my no-hit video. And then there are several safe spots after you hit the act button. One's right here, another is inside of here, etc. This phase, as well as Phase 5, which are the exact same things, are the easiest. All you have to do during the shuriken attack is continually tap left or right, and all you have to do for the vines is either continuously tap left or right, or to dodge it slightly better, you can just hold left or right. For this, immediately go to the ground and hold right, and whenever you're in between the shoes, you just want to be holding left, whenever you're not holding right. If you have to get moved out of the center of the screen, it's always best to go to the right, because if you go to the left, you can get hit by the flamethrower attack very easily. Also as a note, Flowey cannot actually hurt you. He is just a sprite, and only his projectiles can actually do damage to you. For this attack, I always like to find the little safe spots in between the words, like right here. It is pixel perfect. It is pixel perfect, but I always do it because I can reach out during that time and not have to worry about dodging. For this, just stay as low as possible until you see the act button. When you see the act button, you want to go up. You want to go up and meet it as soon as you can. That's basically just to end the attack sooner. Right there I kind of failed, but it was thrown off to the side, so not much I can really do about it. And right here I'll take a few hits just to show you, like, the bullet board that you're going to be on. This is all of the range that you have during this attack. I can't move outside of this little box that I'm showing you here. For this, you just want to get as far to the right or left as possible, whichever one you're more comfortable with, because that way you'll be farther away from the gun. Always count his volleys when they're shot, so every 3 bullets is 1 volley, and it always gets shot on the 8th, I believe? Maybe 9th. I think it's 8th. You'll figure it out. This is your break point. If you're reading chat, you want to put it away. I would always read chat on my iPad, so at this point I would throw my iPad on my bed so it wasn't distracting me, because this is the hardest part, whether it looks like it or not. This is harder than phases 1 through 6 combined. And you'll see right here, this is what I call the golden line. It's basically as far down as you can possibly be, which is 1 pixel inside of your health bar right here, while still being able to actually hit the fight button. Now, something to note, the fight button is important, but you should never have that as your top priority. Your top priority is always dodging. Even if it takes a long time to actually get back to the fight button, it's okay. Something I should also note, for the vine attack, almost no matter how high you are, you can just hold left or right and you should be able to avoid it. Sometimes you actually have to be... Sometimes you have to be holding left or right before the attack even pops up, which is fine. A lot of the times when I notice a very, very slight pause, I'll actually start holding left or right in order to avoid the vines that may or may not come up. Now that that's done, you should be able to just go back over here, open your Undertale file, delete this, and then paste it back in. Simple as that, and then you can open Undertale again, and you should be able to start the fight. Currently, I have Undertale open. If I go into game capture, and then immediately go into full screen, you'll see that there's like a slight delay from me actually going into full screen and you actually being able to see something on the screen. That's why if you look back at my No Hit Flowey video, you'll hear the music of Flowey approaching, and several seconds later you'll actually see Flowey. Now I'm going to be helping you with individual attacks. There's not much to really be said about Shurikens 2, as I call it, except just stay as low as you can, and you'll be fine. For the flamethrowers that you just saw, you can just go left and right to avoid them, which is how you're normally going to do it. But if you are caught up in the very sides of the bullet board, there is a safe zone you can go up. The flamethrowers themselves don't actually hit you, only the flames. As soon as the knives start shaking, their hitbox actually disappears. A lot of people don't know this, and I didn't do it in my actual No Hit Flowey video just because, I don't know, hack accusations, no clip. A lot of people don't know. Anyway, the green mouth things, most of the time you're going to want to go in the opposite direction that they're going. It looks like you can outrun them a lot of times, but they're way too fast to do so. The bomb attacks are normally used in combos. They're not very fearsome by themselves unless you get a very bad pattern. But they do leave you very high on the bullet board, which is bad for the next attack that is coming. When you're doing the fly attack, you need to know about fan attacks. Fan attacks are basically anything that go towards or away from an origin. Whatever the projectiles are going towards, you want to be as far away from as possible. Or if they're being produced out of that thing. For the fly attack, if the flies are going into a Venus flytrap that spawned on the right, you want to be as far left as possible. I'm not sure if I said it before, but for the pellet circles that you see now, you basically just want to loop around them in as wide of a loop as possible, while trying to get back into the center of the bullet board at the very end of the attack. Now we're moving on to a still image, so I actually have some time to think. I want to talk about the gun attacks. During the gun attacks, a red line will appear, which is why I'm using blue, and it'll show you that a bullet is about to get shot right at you. Now, the thing about this is, the red line's not going to hurt you, obviously. Only the bullet is. You don't need to get out of that completely horizontal area, you just need to avoid the bullet that's about to get shot. It's just a warning, not telling you you need to avoid the area entirely. Now on to combo attacks. Whenever the flamethrowers come in, they're going to go from the left, from the right, and then to the left again. Now, this isn't very much of a threat. In fact, it is normally the easiest attack to dodge, unless it's paired with certain things. The laser attack is basically a very rare attack that at any time can shoot down from the middle of the mouth. It is going to shoot across the center area, which is normally the safest place on the bullet board. Now, pair this with flamethrowers, and the flamethrowers actually overlap the hitbox of the laser's area. So, if you're in the center of the bullet board when he does flamethrower laser combo, you're screwed, period. The only way to avoid this is either A, get into the flamethrower safe zones right about here, where the flames go from right here, but the flamethrowers swing across here. You'll be safe because the flames won't actually come back into this area. Your other option is the flamethrower on the left, only the first one, will sometimes actually not swing out as far as it normally does. Most of the time, the flames will swing out from the bottom, so the entire area up to the laser is covered. This will hit you, but on very rare occasions, the flames will actually not swing out. They'll dissipate before they get to the laser. So, you can have your heart right here at the very edge of the laser and actually not get hit by the flames. It's rare, but it has saved me a couple of times. Another very deadly combo is nukes plus shurikens too. The nukes will fall, and you will have to get basically above this red line right here. When he does shurikens too, you want to get down as fast as you possibly can before they start getting towards you. But the only problem with this is you'll be very high on the board when the shurikens come. You are incredibly likely to get hit here, and you will be very surprised the first time you actually manage to make it out without getting hit. There's nothing I can really say here, except good luck. Actually, you moron, if you try and get as far to the left or right as possible while the shurikens are coming at you, you're way better off. The next combination I want to talk about is guns plus vines. If he does the gun attack and then immediately does the vine attack afterwards, because the gun attack has ended, the bullets are not necessarily off of the screen by the time he's doing his vines. Be very careful of this. Finally, let's talk about Phase 7. I said that Phase 7 was the hardest part of this fight, more than Phases 1 through 6 combined, and I meant that. And it's not because you have a fight button in the center that you have to continuously return to. It's not because this goes on for a long time, and it's not because you're distracting yourself by spamming Z. The reason for this is, it is exactly the same as Phases 2, Phases 4, and Phases 6, in the attacks that he is capable of doing, except he is not capable of shooting a laser during Phase 7. The problem with this is, attacks can overlap each other. Normally you have about half of a second before the next attack comes in Phases 2, 4, and 6. But in this, attacks can overlap by a second or two, which is very, very bad. I personally would recommend actually practicing Phase 7 separately from Phases 1 through 6 and the whole fight altogether. I did several practice runs of this and even took several days just doing Phase 7 to try and get more used to the mechanics of it. Now, to Eenox and whoever else might be going for this achievement of no-hitting the entire Omega Flowey fight, I want to tell you right now, this took me 6 months of practice. Don't expect this to be easy. Don't expect it to take a short amount of time. This is going to be incredibly hard, but incredibly fun and worth it, in my opinion. Another thing I highly recommend doing is just searching up No Hit Flowey on YouTube. Find as many videos to watch pros trying to do this fight as you can. You can learn a lot just from watching other people. A good example is Merg, a Drylek, as well as several videos on my channel. I actually posted progress videos of these. A lot, in fact. And as you can see, it took me a very, very long time. Finally, Shiro. This asshole has hacked every single video on his channel. I hate you.